A question about racial tension between Isreal Adesanya and Dricus Du Plessis prompted an emphatic response from Dana White. Dana White brushed off concerns of racial tension between warring UFC stars Isreal Adesanya and Dricus Du Plessis by proclaiming who gives a*. The two fighters are set to face each other in the octagon after Du Plessis won his title eliminator match against former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker at UFC 290 in Las Vegas on Saturday with a second-round TKO. In doing so, he has now earned the right to take on current champion Adesanya. The pair had already exchanged unpleasantries on social media in anticipation of the confirmed title fight. Adesanya was born in Nigeria but lives and trains in New Zealand, while Du Plessis was born in South Africa and has lived there his whole life. As a result, the latter has been trying to get a rise out of his forthcoming opponent by claiming that he is the true African. The tensions reached boiling point after Du Plessis' fight on Saturday when Adesanya was invited into the right to face off with his next challenger. Amid a white-hot atmosphere, the champion directed the N-word at Du Plessis around a dozen times in an apparent move to mock him for suggesting he was the true African between the pair. Eventually, Du Plessis walked away with his hands in the air while Adesanya continued to shout into the microphone. But when UFC boss White was asked by a reporter whether he was concerned about racial undertones between the two fighters, he dismissed that notion emphatically. White said, "What were the racial undertones?" The reporter replied, "Dricus says he's the real African fighter and so Isreal dropped some N-words in there tonight." Isreal was saying over, dropping about 50 N-bombs. White responded, "Okay. He's black. Who gives a*? I couldn't care less. This is the fight business. Isreal Adesanya can say what he wants. Who gives a*? Why are people bitching about that? Of course they are, oh fing right. Alright, got it. Too fing bad. Adesanya 24, 2 MMA. 13, 2 UFC, and Du Plessis 22 MMA, 6-0 UFC, will now likely face each other in a headline title fight at UFC 293 in Sydney this September. Du Plessis has not lost for 5 years and has collected 5 of his 6 UFC victories by stoppage. He will now get a shot at the middleweight title after seeing off Brad Tavares, Darren Till, Derek Brunson and Whittaker in successive fights.